Sharice for a couple of years now, and we met when I was thinking of becoming an occupational therapist, and then I became an occupational therapist. So, yay.
At that point, that's not so much. So last week, I had my sister on. She is a psychotherapist, and so that was actually a really great segment because we talked about mental health, and she obviously talked about the difference between depression and anxiety and bipolar and borderline personality. And a lot of folks were like, yeah, like that's real. Like these are real conversations that, people in our communities, we don't really tend to talk about. And so one thing that I wanted to bring up that you had mentioned that I thought in conjunction to what she was talking about with anxiety, seeing a therapist or someone that's a mental health specialist or professional, personal things that, you can do that someone can do every day, like you had mentioned meditation. And a lot of people don't understand what meditation is, or they're just like, oh, that's like something that's above me or too spiritual, or I don't even know what that is. But your simple definition, which I thought was so real, which is just literally, it's like I link it into like a box. Like it's like focusing on the breath and actually taking a moment to really feel what's going on inside of you, which I think, like you said, the Instagram is a distraction. Social media is a distraction. Sometimes you're doing so many things trying to cover up, but the real reality is you just take that moment and actually deal with those feelings, then they're not. So I love you kind of go into a little more of what that book was talking about with the going with the positive thinkers and how people feel, which I thought was really powerful.
Yeah, totally. And it's more about the breath. It's just really listening to yourself. And I think that's what I learned about it, because when you are there, and first of all, when we get anxious, I don't know if you get anxiety, but you do feel like you can't breathe. Like you just like did you feel like this heaviness on yourself? So you do forget that you're human and you need your body to function and you need to breathe. And that in itself helps something called the parasympathetic system in your body. It kind of triggers that system. It helps like your blood, your heart rate, lower your heart rate when it's like pumping really fast. So just breathing kind of tricks your body into thinking it's okay, and all you have to do is maybe hide your device and take a breather, take a couple of deep breaths. It talks about Buddhism and meditation a little bit. It's called The Antidote. It's The Antidote, something about positive thinking for people who don't like positive thinking but want something more real. It's like it talks about even a little bit of negative stuff that we tend to really brush off, disregard, because in our society it talks about kind of the cult of positivity. He does more to life than just thinking that everything should be positive and you should spin it, or if it's not positive, but you should spin it into a positive thing. And it's kind of it's good. Some things can't be spun into a pot, and that's okay, because I felt you're allowed to feel sad, and it's okay. And I think sometimes people mean well, if you call them and you're feeling a certain way, they think that you're looking for the positive spin on it, or you're looking for help. Sometimes you just want to be listened, and sometimes you even appreciate people, and that's okay, and we'll get through, because it's the company of someone that's really helps. It's really that. And I've learned I used to be more eccentric, I fix things. I still want to fix things all the time, but I've learned to listen. Well, maybe I don't have to fix this that my sister's going through, or my best friend. Maybe I should just listen without judgment, and that's also a very Buddhist thing. Through life as it is, and so it talks about Stoicism. It talks even about the Day of the Dead in Mexico, how it's celebrated, how death is, it's not, they don't mourn death like we do. It's very interesting. I definitely want to read more about Day of the Dead. They even joke about it. If your grandparent died smoking, they'll burn grandma some cigarettes, and they're other cultures might find that offensive. Yeah. But That you go to the cemetery, they do a vigil with candles. So things like that, things that are out of the norm. That's what the book talks about, because life is just, it's not all positive positive spin. There's something wrong with us.
I think I agree completely. I think, well, on two things. The first thing is I feel like Western civilization is based off of this whole idea, right? Like creating, like what, you gotta get something, you gotta keep going. The reason for something says something else. It's not, it is what it is. And I think that there is that sort of like Eastern Western sort of like difference, because, you know, a lot of Eastern culture is more of like acceptance, like accepting this is what it is in life, and that's okay. Good and bad, that's okay. And I think in the West, we have been sort of programmed to kind of think in this way where it's like, it's either good or it's bad. There's kind of no in between. It's either right or it's wrong. And I feel like with that, it kind of puts that pressure to, you have, you know, the like you said, the positive thinking movement. It's like, you got to be positive. If you're not positive, you're super negative. And if you're negative, that means you're not like attracting more positive. It's like sort of accept what it is. And then the other part is with culture. So there was that movie Coco. Did you see it on Disney?
Yes, yeah.
It made me cry. That movie is...
I didn't know what it was going to be about, but, you know, my dad passed away. So I watched that movie, like, I think 4 or 5 months after. And I didn't know, like, I'm not going to ruin the story, but there's, like, some things about dads in there. And I think I did all I could from not bursting out sobbing, but it's okay if I had sobbed. Like, that's one thing that I'm learning about myself, because I was the type of person who, when I was younger, you never saw me cry. Like, I would hide. Like, either it's like I'm home alone, wait till my parents leave, or in the shower, you know, people would cry. I would never see me because I didn't want to show that level of vulnerability. And in a way, I'm kind of happy younger people are doing so, are showing more vulnerability than maybe my generation did, or my age group.
Together was the celebration factor, the fact that in other cultures, and I think when I had experienced my father passing away last year, I think what I was more interested in is how other cultures, how they deal with. I looked at more of like some of the Eastern philosophy, like, you know, type cultures, and I thought it was fascinating because everything that they did was like big celebration. It's like, just like how you do like a wedding, like just this big celebration of this person's life, of this person's legacy. Well, the one that really kind of attested like closer to me was in one of the older actors, that space to be able to like mourn and cry, and it was like this exaggerated, loud, like it was very like the way that they painted the picture was just very like expressive. And I think it's because in those cultures, it is, you know, they're kind of like encouraging you to get it out, because a lot of, you know, look how we have it in the West. If it's someone that's in your direct immediate family, but then if it's like someone that's outside of that, you really don't even get that many days at all. And so that alone kind of shows you where we are as a culture and how we deal with death and how we deal with loss. And so then why it's hard for people to not, you know, it's hard for people not to attach. It's kind of like all connected, like the reasons that people have very large difficulties with, you know, attaching to things and, you know, having anxiety and having these feelings. It comes from it comes from our environment. And I feel like no person should be shamed in that because the environment created it. It's like, you know.
I completely agree. And I will say that when, like, you know, like a day of school or something, and one of my professors, and I do love her, she me that she said, because I told her something might happen, I might have to miss 1 or 2 classes off your final grade, something like that. So it makes you think, like, really, and maybe that's why we're anxious. Like, we don't even have time to grieve, you know, an immediate relative, like, without getting penalized. Like, almost it's very cultural, and here I think we're taught to get over it, suppress it, and kind of like, or put the positive spin on it. It's a very limited
knowledge. You know, I lost my father, XY, and like the last part was what I like choked up with and couldn't get out. It's like the fact that you're recognizing that you've lost someone so close to you. It's like that. I feel a lot. I just feel it in America. A lot of our people as a whole are hurting, but they think, when someone is changing, how do you deal with that and not sort of get with us? Because loss is a part of change too. Everything changes when someone is lost. You know, when you lose a person that you love, whether it's through death or whether it's through like you just are no longer with them. It's still a grieving.
I've had my best friends for almost 20-year friendship since high school, which is crazy. So I've seen them go through a lot of changes, and you know, it's back for me. Like sometimes they push back and we argue, and what I've learned is inevitable. We're gonna change. The universe is constantly changing. The planet is changing. Time passes. Like, it goes back to the attachment and make it what we want it to be, and that's the future. So that's really what we have for this moment or your relationship. And it's really you. I think that's the most important part, is that you are in control of your actions towards the people you love. Oh, wait, I'm not going to say my name, but one of my best friends, I had an argument with her. And I remember thinking, I'm right. And you have to be very mindful that you're doing that, because once you burn it right or wrong, you could really lose your friendship. And I had a dream that night, and in my dream, a voice apologized to her. Like, literally, and I think it was my subconscious, like, very long friendship. And even if you think you were right, and here's the thing, like, about ego, even if you think,
Or maybe like, however you best need to get to the end is how we should. So, absolutely.
I love that you said that. That's exactly what it is. Holding a space for someone. So that's like really it. That's what you're doing. You're holding a space. And you know what? It sounds so abstract, but you're in a better situation emotionally that you can hold the space. So that's another thing that I wanted to bring up, which is, so here I am, like, looking like looking for someone so I can help through their healing process, when I'm like, but I'm not healed from this. Like,
suffering is optional. I think that's so cool. And then choosing gratitude in spite of everything, regardless of how many things we have lost or have changed or have come and go. We always have something that we can. Once we're living and we have breath, we have something to be grateful